Hello everyone, Wayne from the CERN Earth and Space Center here. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at what we can find in our skies right here around Chicagoland in the month of July 2022. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into our sky simulator software and see what we can find out there. So here we are with our sky simulator software Stellarium loaded up and ready to go. We are standing right in front of the CERN Earth and Space Center on the campus of Triton College in River Grove, Illinois. We have our date set for July 15th, so right in the middle of the month, and our time is set for 10:30 in the evening, which is about 2 hours after the sun sets. And that's going to be the best time to go out and take a look because that's when the sky will be dark enough for you to actually see most of the stars out there. We're starting looking west towards the building of the CERN Earth and Space Center. If we look just a little bit higher up in the sky, well, then we could see a couple of very interesting things. Over here on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see 7 bright stars that make a very recognizable shape that we know as the Big Dipper. It's actually part of a much larger shape called Ursa Major, or the Great Bear, and this is a circumpolar group of stars, which means this shape, the Big Dipper, will always be visible in the nighttime sky from here around Chicagoland and throughout most of the northern hemisphere. It will move around a little bit, but it's never going to set below the horizon. So as time goes on, we'll see it starting to loop down towards the horizon, but it will eventually in the autumn just kind of skirt right over the north here and then start to come back up the other side. It's a group of stars that just circles around this North Star Polaris, which you can find directly to the north, and you can actually use that Big Dipper to point you right towards it. Using the 2 stars on the end of the bowl of that big spoon, just draw a line between them, and it will point you right towards the North Star Polaris, which is part of the Little Dipper, or Little Spoon in the sky. So looking towards the northwest, you should be able to spot the Big Dipper rather easily, and then you can use that to find the Little Dipper and the North Star. And almost directly to the west, higher up in the sky, not too far away from that Big Dipper, is a very bright star. This star is called Arcturus, and it's part of one of my favorite shapes in the sky. It is a late springtime shape, so it's heading towards the western horizon now that we're in the middle of summer, and it'll be visible for a little while longer, but then it will set below the horizon, and you won't be able to see it again until next spring. But this shape is called Boötes the Herdsman. He's a shepherd up there in the sky. But I like this shape because to me it looks like a milkshake or an ice cream cone, and on these hot summer nights, well, it's not a lot of fun to go out there and think about ice cream and milkshakes and cool down a little bit, and then usually I'll go buy myself a milkshake because they're really tasty. But this is Boötes the Herdsman. There he is, and we see him right next to those 2 big bears in the sky. It's said that his job is to herd those bears around so that the sky keeps moving, keeps turning, and everything keeps working like it's supposed to. So that is Arcturus. Will be a very bright star just over the western horizon. As we turn around to look at some of our more summertime seasonal stars, towards the south, we'll see a very recognizable shape very close to the southern horizon. A very bright star, looks very reddish in color. It's called Antares, which literally means not Mars, because it does look very similar to Mars. And it's part of a shape called Scorpius the Scorpion. And we can see that it does kind of look like a scorpion here. If you've ever seen the Disney Pixar movie Moana, then you might know this shape by a different name, and that is Maui's fishhook, or the chieftain's fishhook. People from the Pacific Islands, that is what they saw when they looked up at the sky and saw this sort of hook shape there. Greek and Roman astronomers, they saw Scorpius the Scorpion. And that just goes to show you that you can see whatever you'd like to in the sky. Different cultures around the world see very different pictures up there, and there are no right or wrong answers about what things are. We just use the sky as a map, so as long as other people know what you're talking about, then you are all good. But here is what the artwork's like for Scorpius the Scorpion right there. And right next to Scorpius is another bright shape, looks a little bit like a teapot right here. It is a smaller part of a larger group of stars called Sagittarius. He's a centurion archer. He's half man, half horse, and he has a bow and arrow. But what makes this shape so interesting is that teapot shape. This little section of it right here Looks like a teapot, and the very interesting about that is that we can use that as a pointer, kind of like how we just used the Big Dipper to point us towards the North Star. If we use the spout of this teapot right here, and make an arrow out of it, it will point us right towards what seems to us to be an empty section of the sky, but it's actually pointing us directly towards the heart of the Milky Way galaxy, the galaxy that we live in. Now, here around Chicagoland, we cannot see the Milky Way very easily. There's too much light pollution. But if I turned off that light pollution for just a moment, then we can see the Milky Way galaxy in all its glory, and we can see that that teapot does point us right towards the middle of that galaxy, right here. And then you can imagine the rest of the galaxy is just the steam rising out of that teapot and stretching across the sky. And then, even though you can't see it here around Chicagoland, you know that you're looking right at the center of our galaxy. So let's keep looking around our sky. If we turn a bit more towards the eastern part of the sky, southeastern, and look higher up, we will see 3 bright stars that make a nice big triangle that we can see during the summertime. So we call that the summer triangle, and it's actually made up of 3 different shapes in the sky. We have a shape that is commonly known as the Northern Cross, but officially known as Cygnus the Swan. Another bright star, Altair, which is in the constellation of Aquila the Eagle, and then the brightest star of the 3, which is the star Vega, in the constellation of Lyra the Harp. So there are 3 different shapes in the sky, but combine those 3 brightest stars and you get the summer triangle, which makes it easier to spot and recognize all of those. And that is a good look at what you will find in the sky on the night of July 15th, right around 10:30. And you'll see these throughout the month of July. So get out there and take a look at them whenever you get the opportunity. Well, thank you everyone for taking a look at what we can find in our own skies right here around Chicagoland in the month of July this year, 2022. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hope you come out to see us here at the CERN Earth and Space Center sometime. And be sure to like and subscribe for more space content. But the most important thing is to get out there and take a look at your own night skies.